we want to make sure that we foster even better experiences for parents.
I love how we end up always adding musical theater into a podcast.
I feel like life is an adventure, and if you can't kind of explore, then it you lose that fun.
Hi, I'm Maddie.
And I'm Ella. We are homeschoolers. We met through a homeschool platform called Recess, where we found our passion for learning and podcasting.
Exactly.
Come join us on our journey of self-directed learning as we dive into all the things about recess on our
Recess Rundown Podcast.
And we will hopefully see you there.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Recess Rundown Podcast. Today's guest is Nathalie. She's an amazing recess guide, and she's one of the founders of Recess. She keeps Recess running behind the scenes, and she's a homeschool mom. Thank you for being with us, Nathalie.
Thank you for having me. This is so exciting.
You're finally on the podcast. I wanted to start off by saying thank you for helping both me and Maddie with getting our book clubs up and running, and just both still helping us with our book clubs, and just giving us the opportunity to lead them. So did Recess always have a vision for kids to lead clubs and events? Or did it just evolve into something through the interest of kids wanting to lead?
The Recess platform, when we first started, looks so different from what it is today. When we started, what it is today is basically based on every kid's feedback on what they thought should be added in, what we should be doing next, where we should be taking it. And so we couldn't even prescribe any of that stuff for the future. So it was really, was it in the pipeline to have kids leading classes? Definitely. What would it look like? I don't know. At the time, it was like, well, we'll see. We would just kind of hang out and play games together, and kind of like what we have now during the community hour. You guys will lead sometimes casual games, sometimes harder things, sometimes you're working on different projects. So same idea. It was just kind of, you just step up into this role. This idea that the way you guys have structured this, and you guys really did set the stage for classes being led by kids week by week. So the way you guys are doing it right now was definitely not the initial vision that we had. It is far and beyond what I could have imagined. So I'm super excited that it happened, but you went above and beyond what I think anybody else would have thought of to create. So so I don't think it was a hope. It was a hope, and it was pretty cool to see what it came up with.
Yeah, I don't really remember much about early Recess. I joined less than a year ago, almost 1 year. Yeah. So I haven't even been at Recess for a year.
I think I've been for a year.
Yeah,
You've been. Yeah, I think you were a little longer. I think Maddie was a little bit longer than you, but yeah. From the early days looked really different, and then slowly, things just started looking so different too now.
I remember Nathalie kind of touring me the Recess gather, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, what is this place? And then I found a Smash Carts, and then I accidentally muted the site, and then I was so confused.
That's so funny. So did I do your orientation into the space?
Yeah.
I think Christopher did mine, and Devin helped a little bit. Okay, so another thing that I love about Recess, other than it being amazing, is that feeling of community. We have a whole community hour. So a lot of the guides focus on only kids, but you focus a lot on the parent community. How important is that to Recess and to you?
The parents, so chances are it was your parents that found Recess for you, right? So if they didn't have that opportunity and they weren't kind of, curious about what this platform would involve, then you wouldn't be here today. So we want to make sure that we foster even better experiences for parents. And also, once the kids come in, we also want something for the parents to enjoy as well, because this is a community. Like when you go, for example, I mean, if you're part of a co-op or you do other things, other activities and stuff, it's not just you as a kid and being dropped off and then you run inside. Like your parents are involved in some way, right?
Yeah.
And I think we're trying to kind of mimic that as well, because, you know, homeschoolers have it's not an easy thing for a homeschooling parent to um, figure it all out on their own. They need a community. I'm sure you've seen that with your parents,
Mm.
right? I think I know both your moms like are pretty resourceful, and when they need something, they ask questions from other
Mhm.
people, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of us depend a lot on each other. I couldn't have started our homeschooling journey when I started homeschooling with my daughter. I would not have been able to do it if it was just me. I had such a great network of people around me that I had to ask, and they said, "Don't worry, we'll tell you exactly what to do, and you'll be fine." And then they would share what they did, and some of those things were good for us. Some was like, "I'm
Yeah.
not sure," and then but I needed other people. And so with this whole thing, like recess could not be what it is without the input of the kids and without the input of the parents. So we
Mhm.
just want to make that a really, really inclusive space. That's our goal.
I realized how you're talking about like, yeah, you're a homeschool mom. I think it's like pretty important to have a homeschool mom be part of the recess staff. You may see things a bit differently that the other staff members or guides don't see. Do you feel
Yeah.
like that you bring a different perspective to the recess team?
Yeah, I definitely do. Because my experience, I look at things from a different angle, right?
Right.
It's everyone has their own perspective, right? So, yeah, I definitely I look at it from how something would impact another parent and how it impacts my kids directly. And so that kind of gets translated into how it's going to impact other kids, right? Um, so I think having that diversity on the team is really important, to be able to like learn from each other. So I think I'm super grateful to be part of that team, and I think that we all kind of contribute different things from all of our backgrounds and all of our experiences. So I think that's
Yeah, I,
really it's
I,
really
I
cool
think
to
it's
be able to.
yeah, I think it's really important to have a whole bunch of different perspectives on a team.
Exactly. And Ella, I'm gonna sort of flip the script a little bit. In theater, in musical theater, everybody in a show plays a different role, right? And you might rotate. You might be part of the ensemble once, you might be part of the cast in different capacities. You might be in lighting, you might be in the script writing, whatever it is, directing. Everyone, whatever role you take, like all of those different things kind of come together for the final production, right? And if people didn't
Yeah,
focus on different things, that would be really hard. That would be a difficult journey to come to your end goal. So
I love I love how we end up always adding musical theater into a podcast. I don't think you probably I don't think you can find one without it.
well,
Maybe.
it's
Maybe
part of
the
the identity.
book club episode we didn't talk about it. Look,
Oh,
Mm, true.
watch it and find
Probably
out.
yeah, watch them. See how many you can find
yeah.
without musical theater.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think it's the diversity, and I think that's super important. Hmm.
Mm.
Still getting onto the topic of like homeschool mom and homeschool. Why did you decide to homeschool your kids?
Oh, okay. My daughter was in the school. We loved the school that she was at. Um, she was not, she did not love it. No, how could I say this? She was not gaining anything academically or socially. Um, and it was another parent that identified this. She saw her in the classroom and she was like, "Is Hannah happy? just curious, like, what's her experience? And I'm like, yeah, she's doing great in school. The teachers love her. She, everything's great. She says everything's good. And then she says, oh, interesting. So then that made me realize I need to pay attention a little bit more. Sometimes when you're in a situation and you don't know what your alternative is, you don't really know if it could be better or not, because you
Right.
just accept where you are. Um, and so I started asking more questions. I started coming in and looking and asking the teachers. And after a few months, one of the teachers found me in the parking lot and she said, look, mom to mom, if you could homeschool her, she would be such a great candidate. And I was living in Florida at the time, and there were a lot of homeschoolers. So a lot of my friends with the after school activities we did and stuff, they happened to be homeschoolers. So it wasn't a foreign thing for me to just say, oh my goodness, you're telling me to homeschool. What does that even mean? I was able to just like a few hours later go to a friend and say, hey, can you tell me what homeschooling looks like for you? And then I was able to just ask. And so I started entertaining the idea. And after a few weeks, we decided to do it. And she was on board. She was like, the idea of doing it was so exciting for her, and it was the best decision we made. It was really right for her. And then she has two younger brothers. So my boys, they continued in school. They were doing fine. The same school. We really did like the school. And then COVID hit. And during COVID, everyone's doing their quarantine schooling, whatever we called
Yeah,
it.
I didn't like it.
Um, right? That's not homeschooling, as many people as want to say, like, oh, I homeschooled while it was COVID. That was not homeschooling. You just did what you did in the classroom in your home,
Yeah.
and that's not what
Yeah.
homeschooling's about.
No.
Um, but that my boys would see what Hannah would do, and they'd say, I want to do that. Like, that's cool. And it's be like, yeah, well, we homeschool, so, you'll go back to school. And they said, we don't want to go back to school. Like, oh my goodness, am I going to homeschool three kids? Oh, and then they said, yeah, we don't want to. And the more I asked them and the more I saw their curriculum, I wasn't super happy with what they were being taught. I didn't love. And the fact that they wanted to, I said, okay, let's do it. So we started pretty much after COVID, started with the three. And then so all three were homeschooled and continued. And, we recheck every year. Every kid is so different. Every kid has their own learning path. So what I do with my first is definitely different from what I did with my second, and same with the third. Some things like work, but as you guys know, with your siblings, like, you know, for one sibling, this whatever your parent did with them worked, and the others it just doesn't work. So you try something else, and that's the beauty of homeschooling, is that you could play around with it, which is
Right.
what I really love. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's how we started. That's a long answer for how we started.
So, we have heard that you have extensive expertise in healthcare. We did a little bit of stalking. No, just kidding. And found out that you graduated at McMaster University with honors and with a Bachelor of Science and in biology and psychology, and worked in many different areas of healthcare. But then this evolved into getting into education. Why did you decide to change the focus of your career?
I'm very impressed by your investigative skills. So yes, I started in healthcare, and I all of that was great. I think so. One thing about me is that anything that I would work on, I was very passionate about. So I would do really well in it, and it would be fun. One common theme that kept on happening was, even in healthcare, I was working at one point in intensive care and reshaping the way in Canada, the way the intensive care units and hospitals ran. I try to keep it super simple. And in that, I tended to focus. I always wanted to do education. I wanted to teach people about what that meant. A lot of that had to do with education for families, education for patients, education for healthcare providers. And so I loved to dive into that aspect. So no matter what area I did, I always loved developing education through what I was doing. Um, so I started in healthcare. I ended up, I have my graduate degrees are in healthcare, management, and I have a counseling psychology, which is more on the education side and the counseling. Um, then I moved into education because it just seemed like a natural flow with what my life ended up just kind of turning out to be. I came from Canada, as you guys know. That's kind of a common theme that we have. Um, and when I moved to the US, I had to take a bit of a break because I wasn't legally allowed to work yet, because I came in with my husband's work visa. And so I was able to just be at home with the kids for a couple of years. I get bored, so I'm always doing stuff. And so in my spare time, it was like, I don't like just doing nothing. And so I got into a whole bunch of different educational opportunities and initiatives. And a lot of them got framed around what my kids were doing at the time. And so that kind of brought me into where I am today without going into all the details, because we said brevity is a good thing here.
So, on the topic of career choices, we have asked this to all of our guests. What did you want to be when you were a kid, and how did that change over time?
Oh my goodness. From when I was and you might think I'm very strange because people don't always understand this. I always wanted to be a dentist when people was like, I don't like going to the dentist. Why do you want to be a dentist? I always wanted to. What are your feelings? I see you have braces. So what are your feelings of
I
going to
do, yes.
ortho?
I got them
Yeah,
tightened today. They're so sore.
right.
I mean, yeah, I go like I go once a month, sometimes more.
Yeah, yeah,
The dentists
yeah.
are my best friends, basically. It's like, so I don't hate
So,
them as much as I used to.
okay, okay. Cool. Well, I don't know why. I think I just always had a great experience going to the dentist as a kid. And I just really wanted to become a dentist. I went and did my education in university in sciences, and then that something just shifted and just I got more exposure into different areas in healthcare. And that's why things had just kind of turned. But fun fact is I love languages. And so I love learning as many languages as I could. Um, I was really interested in sign language when I was in high school. And so in my last 2 years, and then when I graduated from high school, I was taking really intensive sign language classes. And I didn't know why. I didn't have anybody in the deaf community, like in my home, in my network or anything, but I just really like I was really drawn to it. And I told my teacher, who was deaf, I told my teacher, I don't want to be an interpreter because that's usually what people say, like, oh, you could be an interpreter if you're learning sign language. So I didn't want to be an interpreter, but I wanted to do something. And she says, whatever career you choose, just make sure you cater it to the deaf community. So when you ask, like, what did I want to do? I wanted to be a dentist and I wanted to offer my services to hearing people, but also within the deaf community. And so that was always like, for a long time, that was kind of like the path that I thought I would take. But,
Wow,
things shift.
that's so interesting.
Hmm.
Another question that we ask to all the guests: would you have wanted recess when you were a kid?
I didn't have a choice with my schooling. Like I didn't enjoy school. But I did my work and I went every day. I did what I had to do. I wouldn't say I was happy going through that journey. And some years were definitely better than others. Some years in middle school were better and some were not so great and stuff like that. Same for high school. It was like, it was what I did. I didn't have a choice to not go. So it wasn't something that I didn't really have a choice other than choosing which class to take maybe in high school. I wasn't really given many choices on what path I could choose because you kind of had to choose if you're going to go to university or not. And so then you have to take these, and I wanted to go into sciences, so I had to take these classes. So everything was really spelled out for me from the beginning. I would have loved something like recess because I think it would have really pushed me to do things that I wouldn't have thought of doing normally, and it would have pushed the boundaries for me because I would have been exposed to different things that other people do, and I'm sure I would have thought like, oh, that's so cool, how did you get there? And then I would ask more questions about it. Whereas when I was in school, that's not what you're being encouraged to do. You're just going along and doing well, and check mark, keep going. So I think I would have really loved that kind of spontaneity, and then just like the collaboration, and then being with friends and being able to do things like that. I think that would have been really cool for me.
Yeah, it's definitely a cool place to be.
Yeah. Yeah, no funny answers there. So I'm keeping it boring.
You grew up in Toronto,
Yes.
or let's say the
Yeah.
GTA, Greater Toronto Area. Why did you leave us?
Why did you leave
Yes.
us? Come
We
back.
left. Yeah, different opportunities. It was job opportunities. I didn't think I would ever leave Toronto. I didn't think I would leave Canada, I'll be honest. Um, and yeah, there was an opportunity that kind of knocked for my husband's career path, and the kids were young at the time, and we just said, you know what? It's kind of, let's have an adventure. Why not? I always felt like if it didn't work out, we could always go back. It would still be, there would still be a home for us to come back to. Maybe not a physical home, but there was still something that we could come back to. And so it didn't feel really scary. But looking back, I'm like, wow, we moved like our lives with 3 kids and to kind of like this unknown city. What were we thinking? But it worked out well. And it was just kind of a fun adventure. So I feel like life is an adventure. And if you can't kind of explore, then um, it, you lose that fun. So
Yeah,
we've enjoyed it.
traveling is very fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
I went to Italy for my birthday, and it was so much fun.
Oh my goodness, you're so lucky.
I
That's
know,
so cool.
well, my parents surprised me with an email. They just forwarded me the ticket through an email. So I saw it. I was like, what is this? But it didn't have my mom's ticket. So it looked like it was just me alone going there. So I was like, I came down. I was like,
Wow.
what is going on? Please don't leave me.
Wow. That's so cool. What an awesome surprise. How would you have felt if you were going by yourself?
Terrified.
Yeah, I wouldn't know if I were to go by myself.
Well, it would have
Yeah.
been fine because I was gonna go. I would have stayed with my aunt, who we were visiting anyways. But still,
Right. It's really funny. Yeah. Oh, that's what a great gift. Where did you go in Italy?
A little town outside of Milan called Cassato.
I love it. I love it. That's so cool. Yeah, I love traveling. That travel is
Yeah.
it's so cool to be able to go around the world.
Talking about traveling, I know you mentioned like, oh, you've been to Florida, you were in Canada, now you're in Cali. Out of all the places that you have lived, what was your favorite?
Oh boy. I feel like that's such an unfair question. Um,
Natalie.
there are
Go on.
so there are some really good things about every place that I've lived in. So wherever my family is where home is to me. And so I make the best of it and I enjoy it. Um, I do find California to be a little cold. And I know I'm from Canada and most people don't understand this. And I
Wait,
feel
what?
like I know. It's cold. You don't understand. So in Canada, in Toronto, your house is insulated in a different way. Your heating in your house is beautiful because it's nice and warm inside your home. In California, the homes are built so differently and the heating, like it's just not the same. So it is cold and you wake up and it's cold in the house. I'm in the Bay Area, so Northern California. So it's not like the Southern California where it's warmer. So you have more seasonal change. And I'm not saying it's so cold because I'm talking to you guys Ooh, I know you guys have had snow
This
recently,
morning
and
was
so
snowing. This morning it was snowing for me.
It was snowing. It's like kids on recess
and
don't
it's
believe me when
April.
I tell them that it snows in April. I'm like, it actually snows in April. They're like, you're lying. Like, no, I'm not.
No.
I
So
know. And, the joke was always that in March, the weather would like, when we were in Toronto, the weather would always just like peak and suddenly be beautiful.
I
And
know.
everyone would take off their snow tires because you'd have snow tires. And then everyone in March would always take off their snow tires. And I always said, there, every April, we always have another snow.
yeah,
And I always said, like, don't do that in March because we're going to be hit with snow again. And then you're going to regret it. And then, but it happens every year. So, and people are always surprised. Oh my goodness, it's April 8th. How is that possible?
like
There's always going
yeah,
to be snow.
it's yeah.
Totally. So yeah, so I don't have snow here, but it's cold, so it's a little different. And then I came from Florida, and Florida was hot and humid, and I love the heat. So for me, that was really beautiful. So climate-wise, I really miss that, but um, I think there've been some really cool things in each place. So I love going back to visit Toronto in the summertime because Toronto is a beautiful place in the summer.
It is.
So
Nice
Have
and
yeah,
warm.
that June.
Yeah, you
June.
might come in June.
July.
July?
No, I'm
July.
coming. July. Yep.
July. That was June.
Yay!
Yep. July 13th, we arrive. Yeah. So we'll be
Oh,
there.
yay.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we'll do something. We're gonna do our first like official something big,
We kind
Well,
something.
of did,
the
Yeah.
other one
to
was
be honest.
kind of official-ish
But it was official for everybody
in
that was there.
Canada.
I think yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But now we've started talking to some other parents, and
They
those
might.
that are close to the border, they're going to drive up.
They
Oh,
They're
might.
that's
actually going to
fun.
come.
They might.
Yeah.
Is it a maybe or is it like a yes?
I think we'll just make sure to advertise it to everybody so that we have like a firm date. And you never know, because some people are traveling. Some people, might happen to be there in certain times. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll make that happen.
Yeah.
That was like the vision of Recess when we first started. The goal was not to be 100% online. The goal initially
Yeah.
was for us to meet people that live close to you, and then you could meet them in person. And then during your off times, when you're
Makes
not
sense.
able to go see them or whatever, you would see them online. But now we kind of expanded, got more kids in, and now people are wanting to kind of create those hubs. So I think it's pretty cool that the two of you have met, happen to live both in Toronto, in the
Yeah.
Toronto area, and
Well, yeah, the GTA.
close enough. Yeah, it's big. It's a big city, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool. And those are the kind of fun connections. And even like when you travel, it's like, oh, I know someone that lives there. Let's go visit them too while we're doing
Yeah,
something, which is beautiful. It's a really cool thing.
it
Yeah,
is.
love that.
Okay. Do you want to play a game, Natalie?
Yes, I love playing games.
So it's
Yes.
called 20 Questions.
Okay.
Have you played it before?
Um, Versions of it. Let's see how this goes.
One person will think of an object, and the other person has 20 yes or no questions to try and guess what it is. Was
Okay.
that? Have you done that? Have you done that?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for the viewers, for example, I would think of the word towel, and Ella would ask a whole bunch of yes or no questions like, is it soft?
Mhm.
So, for the first round, you will come up with the word, and I will guess your word.
Okay.
Okay.
So
And Ella
Are
will
you
track
ready?
questions. Yeah, are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay,
Yes.
you may think now. But make sure you keep track of the question.
I'm ready. I'm good.
Is it rough?
No. No, I don't think so.
Is it smooth?
Parts of it, yes. Should I be really yes or no? I shouldn't say parts of it, but parts are.
Okay. Is it something you use in the house?
No.
Is it something for when you're swimming?
No, definitely not.
Um, do you sit on it?
No,
Okay. Um, wait, I'm trying to think. Is it something big?
yes,
Is it furniture?
no,
Um, is it soft?
no.
I think you already asked that.
No, I said
As if
is
it's
it
hard. Like if it was
Yeah,
rough, yeah.
rough?
yeah, you said if it was smooth. Sorry.
There are different components of it,
Yeah.
but no, I would say no. I would say generally no.
Does it make light?
Mm, yes.
Does it involve fire?
Not fire. No, no,
Um, is it a light bulb?
no,
Is it a lamp?
no.
Oh, what? Is it like um a ceiling lamp? Whatever. I can't think right now. Okay.
No.
Uh,
Right, because you're getting a little tripped up by the fact that there's light in it, right? Yeah.
is it color? Does the light like produce colorful light?
No, no,
Is it a spotlight?
no. Think bigger.
But, what?
Not like a massive lamp, no. But just think a bigger object.
Does
Am
it
I allowed
have
to say?
multiple like light bulbs on it?
Yeah.
Chandelier?
No.
What? Natalie,
No.
what is this?
Are we at 20?
No, we're at
No?
17.
Okay, you got three more. Think bigger.
The sun? What is this?
Think of the lights as a component of this, as a part of.
That
It's
makes
not the
no
main
sense.
thing.
I'm confused. A component.
That's on the front and the back.
The front and the back. I don't know anything that has something that's a front and
This is
back
confusing
at the
me.
moment.
Really? Interesting. It's on the outside.
Okay,
Yep.
is it like
So think something outside.
a lamppost?
No.
One more.
One more?
Mhm.
Okay, wait. This is like impossible. What is this? So it's outside. It's not soft. It's not rough.
Oh. Yeah. No.
Not that smooth. What can
Well,
be
some parts of it are smooth. Can I give you a hint?
Yes, please.
It's inside of it.
The light is inside it.
No, you sit inside of it.
Oh,
And there are lights on the front and back.
Oh.
a car?
Yes.
Oh, it doesn't produce light.
It
Yes,
has
the
like lights
headlights.
on it.
Oh, well, oh.
Right?
Okay.
There are lights in the front and the back. I know that was very misleading because
It
then you
can,
went down the whole light.
it can be inside.
A car, I
Garage.
guess.
Garage.
Right. Yes. So in California, we don't really have many garages, so sorry. That's
Nathalie.
that's very confusing. Yeah, there you go. Sorry.
Okay. For the next,
Mhm.
we're gonna do one more round.
Okay.
Ella, do you want to think of the word, or you don't want me to?
Sure, I can do it. I feel like
Okay.
mine's gonna be kind of hard. Do you want the hard one or the easy one?
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
I'm
I
gonna
have two.
I'm gonna venture for the easy one.
Okay.
So we'll see.
All
Wait,
right.
I need to get
All
a
right.
notepad.
There you
One
go.
Or we
second.
could do like medium hard.
Ask away. I feel like it's not that easy. It's more like medium hard. Okay, ask away.
Okay.
Actually, wait.
Um.
Okay.
Oh, not ready?
Wait,
Are you
no,
ready?
never mind. Never mind. Sorry.
Okay. Good. Okay. Um. Is this something you find in your house?
Um, not. I mean, you could. Okay, no. I'm just gonna no.
Okay. Um. Is it soft?
No.
Is it a thing?
Yes. Well, I don't know what thing. I I don't know what
Okay, I guess
thing
the
like.
opposite would be is if it's alive, if it's
No,
something
it's
living.
it's
Okay,
not. It's
it's
not
not
alive.
living. Okay. Something outside. Is it big?
It can be.
Oh,
Okay.
hello.
Okay.
The
Does it
size.
come in different colors?
Yes.
Do you have one?
Um, I do, but that is not going to help you.
Um, does every person have one of these?
No.
It's not alive.
Um,
What?
and it's colorful and it's big and it's outside.
Well, it's
Um,
big is it can
relative.
it's
Or
it can be very very small or very very big.
and it's not alive. So it's not, can it be found in nature?
Yes.
Huh. Um, trees are alive, so it can't be a tree.
Yeah.
But um, would you find this in a forest?
No.
Um,
Sorry, this is so hard.
is this hard? Yeah.
Well,
And it's do certain countries have more of them than others?
yes.
Can you eat
What?
it?
No.
Is it a type of something? Like, are there different types of this thing?
Yes. Yes. I'll give Can I
Do you,
give you a hint?
yeah,
Do you
please.
want a hint? It's
Yeah.
found in caves.
Oh, I think I know what it is. Does a hint count as a question?
I don't Sometimes I count it
Come on,
as
Maddie. Are you on my side? Give me some more. No, it's okay. That's fair. Um, it's found in cave. Whenever I think of what's found in caves, I think of bats, but they're not living. So, um, what is found in a cave?
Lots of things.
Huh. Um, it can be big, they can be small. Like limestone, like different type of mineral rocks, something. There are many different types. They could be big, they could be small, right? Like
You're getting closer.
You have five
different.
questions.
Okay, I have 5 questions. Is it a type of rock?
um, um, kind of, but like not what you're thinking. It's not like you're thinking
Right.
of like limestone or like
Yeah.
obsidian, like something like that. It's
Yeah,
not what
yeah.
you're thinking of.
Right. Um, it's found in nature. Can it be um um so you're saying not type of rock, not type. So I'm thinking like those like precious stones, precious metals, stuff like that. Maybe
It's not
crystal type
it's
things.
not specific. Like
Okay.
think
It's vague.
broader.
Okay.
You've
Um,
said the word already. So just so you know,
Oh,
you've said it.
You have 2 questions left.
Oh,
okay. Um, and you said it's not stones. Um, like crystal formations, like those, a type of it.
well, it's
Okay.
you're literally saying the word.
Crystal?
Yes.
Okay,
Really? Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay. So really? Oh my goodness. Wow.
last
Okay, so it's
question. You
crystal.
got it right.
Woo! That was hard.
Yay.
Thank you.
Good job.
Sorry, I know.
Okay.
My other one
Okay.
was ketchup.
Oh, that would have
Um,
been easy. Maybe not. Edible.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
It's
I
like
was
a
know.
worried it was gonna be like, like this, what are those called?
oh
Stalactites? Like
yeah.
Stalagmites,
those, all those formations. I
stalagmites,
thought you were going
stalactites.
there.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yes. So I was worried about that. And so I'm thinking, what were those called? I can't remember. Okay. Man, that's hard. That
Okay,
is hard.
so
Thanks. Yeah. Cool.
good job
Um,
on the game.
yeah. Fun. Okay, but those are difficult. All right.
Now comes the time for Finn's question. If you're watching this, Finn,
Yay.
um,
This
Ooh.
is
here's
who
your
we're
question.
asking.
um,
Okay.
if you had only one more day to live, how would you spend that day?
Oh, wow. Oh. Um, huh. I would spend
Finn,
that day with family. Um, I would
Finn's
spend that day with
question.
family in, yeah, just like out in nature somewhere, and yeah, with family for sure.
Nice. Okay. If you were to create,
What would,
oh,
how would you
turn
answer
the
that?
tables.
us,
Yeah,
um,
spend the day with family. Hang out. Maybe I
I
don't
would
know.
read and eat pastries.
Oh my
Yes. Like,
I
I
god.
would
forgot about the food.
Yeah, I'll eat all day.
pastries,
Yeah.
pickles,
Yeah.
Pickles.
peanut butter.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I love pickles. They're so good.
And
Okay.
Christopher's just like, what are you
Yeah,
saying?
Christopher's cringing right now.
Sorry,
Okay.
Christopher. Wow. Have you
If
ever
you were
made
to
your own
create,
pickles?
I
No.
have. Yes, I
Have
did.
you?
I did that last year.
Oh, so cool. Were they good?
Yeah, I
Did
used
they
the
turn
wrong
out
type
well?
of cucumber though. They had really big
Hmm.
seeds. So, yeah.
Right. Okay, that's a good tip because I actually wanted
Mhm.
to venture into making my own pickles. Sorry, we're off on a tangent. Yes. Okay, next question.
Okay, if you were to create a question for us to ask our next guest, what would
Mm.
it be?
Oh,
Say it
okay.
slowly. I have to type.
Slowly. Okay, say it slowly.
Dead silence.
If you could make one wish, if you had like a genie bottle and you could make one wish, what would it be?
If you could make one wish, what
What would
would
it be?
it be?
Yeah.
Okay. Dude, that's funny. That reminds me of D&D today where one of the characters in our campaign, a person in my campaign has a child that was adopted, and his name is Basil, okay? And he was going to fill a pillowcase full of rocks and hit my character in the face with it.
Okay.
I know. Um, it was really funny. And
Okay.
so I was like, if I let you ride my airship, would you like forgive me? And he's like, yeah. But if you don't let me ride your airship, I'll hit you 2 times with the rock pillow. And it was really funny. And then I was like, if you if I don't do it, would you really do that? And he's like, yes, so you better do it. And then I told my what's her name? My DM, Dungeon Master, I
Mhm.
did this and say, all right, I'll be in my bottle if you need me.
I love it. And then,
I don't.
but that's a cool tie to like Maddie's little
I'll be
making
in
a
my bottle
wish.
if you need me.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I love that. Very
So
cool.
it is the end of the episode, sadly. Thank you, Natalie, for being on the Recess Rundown podcast. It was really fun to hang out with you, play the game, and talk about D&D.
This was so much
Okay.
fun. Thank you.
Yeah. If you're part of the Recess community and would like to be in our show, please email me or please email us, Ella and Maddie, recessrundown@gmail.com, or message us on the Recess platform directly, and we'll make sure to get you on the show.
Please like and subscribe to our channel, and hopefully we can get to 100 soon, because we're around 50, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.